Вярвах аз, че вечно ще живее. Най-хубавите ми години отне и после си замина, ала нощем още те търся. Като птица съм свободна, но на воля не отлитам. От години свикнала съм да обичам само тебе. Като птица съм свободна, но на...
Greetings, Uncle Travelling Matt here, and I don't know what day of the holiday this is, but this is not the video that I was intending to make. I should have made a video about 3-4 days ago. I haven't done any updates for a long time, and there's a reason for it. So last time I spoke to you, we were in Belgrade, and the idea was that we were going to spend the day going around on bikes, which we did. We had a fantastic time. That was Thomas's idea, and we hired bikes, and we went around along the front of the Danube and the River Sava, and we crossed the Danube, and we went to where there was a former concentration camp during the Nazi period, and we also went to the Citadel, which is the oldest bit of Belgrade, and that was brilliant. And we found this amazing church of St. Petka, where they had like a healing well. And we also went on to the very top of the Citadel, where there was lots of interesting stuff on Ottoman Turbe. There was a military museum with a load of old tanks, including an FD-17, which I enjoyed because when I was a kid, I had an Airfix model of one of those. It was one of my favourite tanks. And then we returned those. We got chatting to the guy who had the bikes. He was an interesting guy. He mad into football, Red Star Belgrade, so we were talking to him about football. And then he took us to the airport to catch our flight that we bought to Podgorica. And Belgrade Airport was absolute chaos. They're basically rebuilding it, and we went to try and get the baggage back from the airport, because we were told they might send it to Belgrade, but they hadn't, so it wasn't at Belgrade at all. And then we went to check in the plane and found out that one of the passports was missing, so we couldn't check in the plane. It was absolute disaster. The service was awful, and in the end I had to book a hotel next to the airport and take a bus there, because we didn't even have enough Serbian dinar for the taxi. And we booked into this, I guess, hotel near the airport. It was a place full of character, shall we say that. We booked a room, but we got a whole apartment. It was in the attic. It was strange. Like, there was a toilet that you couldn't even stand next to or sit on very comfortably, because it was under the kind of slope of the roof. It looked very much like the guy built it all himself. It was run by two brothers who spent their whole day drinking the Serbian equivalent of rakia downstairs and chilling out. They were really friendly and really nice. But a bit like Del Boy type figures. And so there we are. And I wanted to cry. It was awful, but I didn't cry. In the end, I cancelled my passport, booked, started the process to get an emergency passport. So we were stranded in Beijing until that came through. The next day, I did nothing. I just stayed in the room, wrote, read, slept, was really tired. There was a water park down the road, the Hollywood Aqualand Park, so Thomas went there. I did nothing the whole next day, really. And then in the evening, in fact, those 2 nights, we went to a local restaurant which served meat by the kilo, and it was like, what grilled meat do you want? And yeah, that was that. Chatted to a friend on the internet. That was it, basically. The next day, a little bit more action. I woke up late because I'm chatting to people on the internet quite late and not what else to do, and keeps you sane. And went into Belgrade. I went to the the National History Museum. That was good. That was good. It's a whole history of of Serbia, I guess, from Neolithic times onwards. And there was an art gallery indeed with it, which had some good international stuff. There was a Toulouse-Lautrec in there, a Monet, a couple of Picasso sketches. So that was good. And we went around the centre of Beijing, Belgrade, a bit. And yeah, that was nice. And then we took the bus in and out there. It was so crowded and a long journey, but it was, well, we didn't pay going in. They wouldn't accept the money, and on the way back it was 150 dinar each, which is not much. So yeah, so that was that. And then the next day, again, very little. We went to the Hollywood Aqualand Water Park and just chilled out all day. And I'm not really one for chill out holidays, as people know, but it was pleasant, and just spent the day reading, splashing around, swimming, in the sauna, and enjoying myself. And in some ways, I probably needed that. And the other way, it's just a shame, like, you kind of wasting all the time when we could be seeing stuff. But that was that. And then, of course, the message came through the next day that the emergency passport was ready. So that next day was yesterday. And so yesterday we went into Beijing. I keep saying Beijing. Why do I say Beijing? Belgrade. The two have nothing in common. But anyway, went to Belgrade. Went to the British Embassy. A really friendly lady there called Susie. She sorted us out. Got the emergency passport, emergency travel document. There it is. It's blue. And so, yeah, could travel again. Went to the Air Serbia office, which is near to the embassy, and looking at options. And we've been told, actually, you can only just go directly home with these, but it's not true. It said I can go home. It's got to be a single journey, but I can pass through 5 countries. So what we did is we booked a flight to Tirana in Albania, which, of course, where we were meant to be going anyway. But we couldn't have gone to Montenegro and then in and out of Albania. We couldn't have done that. But if we're going through Albania to Montenegro, it seems you can do that. So we are now in Albania. And, yeah, I mean, again, this is the holiday where everything goes wrong. So we booked this flight, right? And then we spent a few hours in Belgrade, just sorting stuff out on the internet and chilling out, waiting, because the flight was midnight. But again, it's a disaster holiday, so the flight didn't leave till almost 2 o'clock, which is the time it should have arrived in Tirana, and we didn't get in till past 3 o'clock. So, yet again, another horrendously delayed flight. And it was because they were waiting for some other passengers on a connection from somewhere else, and then got stuck on the runway for a while. It was quite cool, though. It was a prop plane. And you don't actually get to go on prop planes very much these days. They're a lot noisier than the other ones. They're a really tiny little plane. So, yeah, that was fun, but I would have preferred it not to have been at 3 o'clock in the morning, And then we got into Tirana's, Mother Teresa Airport late last night, and got a taxi to the hotel, which is where I'm sitting now. And so we're about to explore Albania. It'll be a much reduced trip to Albania from what we should have had. Because the problem is, with my passport, my driving license was in the passport as well, so I can't hire a car now. Although, I did get a message on LinkedIn saying some guy had found it, an American guy. So I'm hoping I'll get that back, and the passport, because I like the passport because of all the stamps in it. But we shall see. But anyway, the thing is, we are now in Albania. We're going to go into Tirana, spend an hour or two in Tirana, and then just take the bus up to Shkodra and see Marion. So that is the latest update from our Balkan trip, our disaster Balkan trip in many ways, although it's not actually been, it's been quite enjoyable in a lot of ways, but it's just, I do wish things would stop going wrong. And yeah, part was my fault, I misplaced the passport at some point, but part of it isn't. It's like all these delays with the planes, you know, and we still haven't got the luggage. Nobody's got a clue where the bloody luggage is. That's life though, isn't it? So, Uncle Tony and Matt here. Keep travelling.